Hello everyone and welcome back guys to round 12 of season 5 of the F1 2021 My Team career mode. Yesterday we're here back, 5 races to go of the year. Of course, yeah, we finished off the F2 season at the weekend. You know, if you missed out on all those videos, I would definitely recommend going back and checking them out. But of course, I sort of wanted to give the final race weekend of that sort of all the focus, hence why there was no Saturday upload of the My Team series here. But yeah, we're back today, ready for a track that's historically gone rather well for us. Yes, we're back ready for the Singapore Grand Prix. If you missed out on the last episode of this series that went live last Wednesday or last Tuesday, I think even now, it's been a little bit of a while. You know, now the F2 career mode's over with, we're going to be jumping into more My Team and more of the Williams Road to Glory there, as of course we get ready for the real life 2022 F1 season as well. I got plenty of exciting things planned over the coming weeks and months. But yeah, spoilers though in just a moment, so this is your warning. Go back, check out the last video if you haven't already, and yeah, let's have a look then at the way things are shaking up at the moment. There, championship wise, it is just 6 points between myself and Max Verstappen as we head in towards the final 5 races of the year there. Lando Norris still sat in P3 at the moment, but falling back by quite a bit at the moment. Now 54 points behind Max Verstappen, so if he wants any chance at the title, he basically needs to win every race between now and the end of the season and pray that Verstappen and I don't have much luck there. Constructors-wise, it was looking rather close as well. The gap now down to 18 points there as we had a bit of a nightmare last weekend at the Italian Grand Prix. We need to keep it clean. We need to keep it consistent. Singapore this weekend, though, like I said, has historically been a track that's been quite good to us. Let's hope that can continue as, yeah, today, ideally, we want to retake the championship lead. Right, well, of course, here we are then back at the Singapore Grand Prix. I always love just jumping into free practice one, you know, where there is still a bit of sun in the sky as we head in towards the evening here of Singapore. But yeah, of course, if you aren't already, though, as well, make sure you get yourself subscribed. If the first 11 races of this season are anything to go by, the last 5 are going to be just as dramatic here. This has probably been one of the most interesting... Jeff, be quiet. Come on, we know what we're doing. Yeah, this is, without a shadow of a doubt, been one of the most interesting F1 seasons I've ever done on the channel. I cannot thank you guys enough that have been there along the journey. You know, we're slowly but surely making our way towards 40,000 subscribers as well. So if you could help us get one step closer, it would be massively appreciated. Oh, that is not the apex through there. Going to be the first red score of the lap. But of course, yeah, really not too worried about R&D points at the moment. However, rumours are there is going to be a major rule change ready for Season 6 as well that apparently is going to affect multiple departments. So we do need to try and keep as many R&D points as possible. As that, I'm not sure how we got a red score there, but yeah, fingers crossed though we can just make it through these next couple of weekends, get the rule changes confirmed, as this has really been quite a woeful track climatization lap so far. But yeah, I think we're just obviously focusing all eyes front for the end of Season 5, but we've got enough resource points in the bag to set ourselves up for Season 6. Anyway, around in the final corner though, first lap in practice, that's going to be green. Oh, I hate this about practice sessions in some of the tracks, and yeah, Singapore is not a great one for it. AI really blocking us on our tyre wear run. Are we going to have to try and send it on Guan Yu Zhou? No! Oh, Guan Yu Zhou way too early on the brakes. We do end up coming together there, but I'd rather that than running straight into the back of him and putting us both potentially out of this practice. Yeah, it's just so annoying, the fact the AI, you romp up to the back of them and they still just sit in the way. But yeah, that's going to be tyre wear program pretty much done and dusted. However, tyre wear though looking really good, just lacking a bit of pace in this session. But yeah, the deltas are always super aggressive. Oh, that is not the line through the final corner. We'll give it one more shot though. But yeah, normally the deltas are way too hard. Right, in the final couple of corners then of our second attempt, this is going to be a whole lot better. Is it going to be the purple score? Not quite, but we do beat the delta. Right, well here we are then, round in the final couple of corners, about to start our first qualifying run here in Q2 for the Singapore Grand Prix. Going out on the mediums first of all, just trying to set a banker. Looks like it is going to be very tight this weekend. Red Bull, of course, always on the pace. Lando and myself looking like we're definitely going to be within contention, as well as Ferrari. Bit of a surprise challenge this weekend. Charles Leclerc fastest at the end of Q2. How much we're going to be able to turn up a wick, though, of course, is the real question. Because if you guys remember, back to even the Italian Grand Prix last time round, AlphaTauri looked mega in Q1 and then were nowhere throughout the rest of qualifying. Now, I say nowhere. Gasly still ended up P4 on the grid, but I really thought we might see a bit of a surprise that weekend. But so far, so good, though, on this lap. As you can just see all the buildings in the background, absolutely glistening as well. Singapore, I think, still is probably the best-looking track on the F1 games. Perhaps this will have to feature very, very soon in our backwards hot lap series. But yeah, so far though, as we head over the Anderson Bridge, this lap not been too bad. But what am I'm short shifting there for some reason. It's going to cost us a little bit of time, but nothing too much to worry about. Yeah, just trying to get a banker in on these mediums though. We're definitely going to have to do a soft run unless this lap is an absolute worldie, which I think I can say with confidence it certainly hasn't been. Bottas sets a 33.5 as we navigate through the final few corners. They're really tipping it in under the stadium there. That was very, very close. Or under the grandstand, sorry, I should say. But round in the final couple of corners. Oh, big, big wobble there as we head through the final couple of turns. Completely flat out on the exit, and it is fastest. A 32.8.
Good job.
That's a pretty decent lap then. That was better than I thought it would be. Probably won't be enough to see us through into Q3 though, but that's a really, really strong start, as Norris as well goes P2 on the same set of tyres. Heading out, though, down the Raffles Boulevard once more. We're going to just do a lap on the set of tyres we used to get into Q2. Just so we got a soft banker lap there as we go purple again through Sector 1. But yeah, that medium lap I think was actually a lot more competitive than I was willing to give myself credit for. Because yeah, at the moment, we're not even up on it as we tip it through Sector 2. That's not going to help either. That might be this lap done and dusted then as we just nudge to the wall. Oh, yeah, it's all starting to just go a little bit pear-shaped. We'll back out. And yeah, we'll have to go back out for our final run then right at the end of the session. Getting ready to start our final lap then in Q2. But I mean, yeah, if we still stay inside the top 10, of course, then there's no point trying to finish off this lap. We may as well try and make it through on a set of medium compound tyres there and open up the race for ourselves. But I think we're about to see the times tumble though. Of course, yeah, qualifying here at Singapore. The track definitely rubbers up as you continue on, as immediately Perez's going faster. And we're just slowly getting relegated down the order, so we need to be on it on this lap there as well, tipping it in, running very, very wide on the exit out onto the Raffles Boulevard once more. And yeah, this lap though, we need it to be hooked up. I mean, yeah, look at this as we head down in towards the final few corners of this second run. We're still up inside the top 10, so we are going to bail out on this lap, but 5 tenths up pretty much as we head through the final couple of corners with a couple of mistakes on the lap. It's a low 32 in this, maybe a 31 in Q3, but that is really good, making it through on the mediums. There we go then, having a look at the Q2 results. Only myself and Carlos Sainz then making it through on a set of medium tyres there, but where's Verstappen? Oh, where is he? No, he's down. He's P16 there, he didn't set a lap. What happened to Max Verstappen then? Did he invalidate both laps? Did he make mistakes and have to bail out there? No idea. But that has completely put Red Bull on the back foot this weekend there. Tsunoda fastest at the end of Q2. And surely now there is a big, big opportunity for us to try and take pole position then here in the Singapore Grand Prix. Verstappen out in Q2 and the highest he'll start is P16. Maybe he's taken some grid penalties. Perhaps he's thrown away the Singapore GP weekend there to try and be strong in the final 4. But yeah, let's get into Q3 then. Now we need to try and put this thing right at the very front. Right, getting ready then to start our first lap here in Q3, and we're going to need a worldie here. We want to try and put this thing right up towards the very front of the grid. This could be a championship-defining qualifying session here in Singapore. Let's try and get it. I think we're definitely going to need sweat mode, though, if we want to try and hook up at least one of these 2 laps. That's not quite the way you want to start a lap, but I think we got away with it without any damage there. Just tyre face to curb. And we're still purple through Sector 1. Really got to try and eat the curbs for breakfast through Sector 2 as we head over the Anderson Bridge. So difficult to try and commit to the apex. Let's run a little bit wide on the arm cob on the exit there, but just trying to maximise the track width. We've got to get this banker lap in. It's purple again through Sector 2. Keep it just inside the white line. Got to be super careful through there. And now just threading it through the final third of the lap. Someone's done a 32.6. I think that was Sainz. just trying to take as much curb as we dare through a lot of the corners. This car very, very good, actually, over the Singapore curbs there. They're not the biggest on the Formula 1 calendar. There is down in towards the final corner. Oh, very, very wide, actually, at the final corner, but it's still a 32.6, and that leaves us fastest for now, but Lando sets a 32.3. That is going to be the time. We've got to chase them on this second run. There's definitely another 3/10 on the table, though. Not too sure what I'm doing there. Getting ourselves geared up then for the final qualifying lap we'll do here from the Singapore Grand Prix this weekend. This one needs to be perfect. We need to find our zen.
Minutes to go.
A bit sloppy over the Anderson Bridge there, cost myself a couple of tenths, but so far this lap is up. Again, nudging the wall though, what am I doing? Come on, we've got to get this hooked up. Right in the final couple of corners though, can't even afford to look at the delta. Where is it going to be on the grid for the Singapore Grand Prix? It's pole! I think it was pole there by hundreds. That's what I want to see. Pole position here in Singapore as Verstappen struggles, and I think we only just took it.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three. Mr. Monaco, Gasly and Charles Leclerc. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
I'll hold my hands up and admit, wasn't the best lap I'll do on F1 2021, but it is pole position by 9,000ths of a second over Pierre Gasly there at the end of the session. Charles Leclerc P3 just 39,000ths back. So AlphaTauri and Ferrari both with some very, very strong running there at the end of the day. But love to see that here in Singapore. Perez nowhere right when Red Bull needed him most. They're down in 8th place there between the Mercedes. But Russell as well running up in 6th place. A very good lap by him and Aston Martin there. But look at Guan Yu Zhou, 1.8 seconds behind his teammate there. But it's pole for the Singapore Grand Prix. Can we go on now and win this race? We're now just a few weeks away from the F1 2022 winter testing, and the F1 store has released all new lines celebrating the 2022 Chinese New Year. First of all, we've also now got the 2022 McLaren fanwear drop has finally been revealed. There's still different merch available from every team, and now there's 20% off any lines on the store as well if you use the code currently on your screens. Click the links down below if you want to go check it out.
Against the spectacular backdrop of the Singapore skyline, Formula One returns once again to do battle in what tends to become something of an endurance race, with the notorious sauna-like temperatures in the cockpit making for an extremely physically challenging Grand Prix. The Marina Bay Street Circuit then has 23 corners, 13 to the left and 10 to the right, taking us a total of 3.1 miles around the landmarks of downtown Singapore. An average lap speed around here, just 107 miles per hour. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Mr. Monaco. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
It's been a really solid year so far. There have been some incredible standout performances, but what's really impressed me has been the consistency. With this kind of form, I'm expecting another great race today.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Mr. Monaco lines up on pole position, with Pierre Gasly alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Norris, Carlos Sainz and Russell. Tsunoda, Perez, Hamilton and Guan Yu Zhou, Ricciardo, Ocon, Valtteri Bottas and Stroll, Mazepin, Verstappen, Nicholas Latifi and Callum Islet, Mick Schumacher, Giovinazzi, Lundgaard and Robert Schwartzman. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
I love the fact Jeff has got no idea what's going on F1 2021 half the time there. He wants a top 10 finish. It's all or nothing today. We have to try and win the Singapore Grand Prix here. You know, Verstappen down in 16th place. He hasn't taken grid penalties, so really not too sure what Red Bull's strategy is for this one. But yeah, starting on the mediums, though, is going to be super, super critical that we try and hang on at the front of the field. Often around Singapore, I try to do medium, or medium, soft even, if possible. Game reckons it's a whole lot slower, but not really too sure why. But yeah, we might do medium, soft. We might do medium, soft. I don't know quite yet. We'll wait and see as to how the tyre wear lasts on this first stint. The most important thing is we have to get a good start here, otherwise Gasly could romp away into the lead early on. But let's dive in then. Round 12 of the year. 5 races to go of the season here in Singapore. 5 red lights. And it is going to be lights out and away we go. And actually, oh no, it was almost a good start as we head down in towards turn 1. We're side by side with both Ferraris. But Gasly hangs on to the lead there. No, sorry, it was Lando Norris that was on our outside down in towards turn 1 there. Russell's made a good start up into P5 as well. But Gasly as well today, of course, he'll be acting as a rear gunner for Red Bull, or perhaps a front gunner, if you will, for Red Bull this weekend there. He wants to try and help them out. You know, he wants to potentially land himself a seat with the senior team ready for next year there. But an interesting little start. Lando up 1 place, us down 1 place here early on. But again, yeah, we just got to try and settle down into a rhythm on these medium tyres here. This is a big weekend, both for our Drivers' Championship and the Constructors, if we can build up a little bit of a points haul over Red Bull here. How is Verstappen going to cope trying to slice and dice his way through the field? Not the easiest track to make overtakes on as we head through Sector 2 over the Anderson Bridge. They're trying to roll on the power on the exit. Like I said, it's often been a track that has been so strong for us on F1 2021. We just seem to gel with this track the way the AI can't in a lot of instances. And yet, doesn't look like Verstappen's had a particularly great start. Doesn't look like he's made any progress. In fact, I think he might have been jumped by the Williams there off the start of the Grand Prix. I think he's only ahead of the Haas and the Alfa Romeos as we head through the final sector of lap 1. We've got to try and stick close to Pierre. But again, obviously we're on very different race strategies to the Frenchman is round in the final corner to complete lap 1. Gasly leads the way. We are under a little bit of pressure now from Lando Norris, but yeah, just got to keep our head down and focus. This is an endurance race, and if ever there was a Grand Prix on F1 2021, we need to play the long game. Singapore right now is that race. Oh, yellow flag's out already. Someone's got issues towards the rear of the field. Don't tell me it's Max Verstappen. Who is it going to be? It's Charles Leclerc out of the Grand Prix there. So Ferrari looks so strong after qualifying, but already Charles Leclerc's race is done and dusted on just lap 2 here in Singapore. Again, it's been such an odd year from Ferrari. They've just been so consistent, but so quiet for the most part. And yeah, Charles Leclerc was right in the championship hunt early on, but it is just all fallen away for Ferrari as Red Bull and ourselves are kind of regrouped and refocused and utilised a little bit of extra pace here as we're now closing up once more to Pierre again. Already, perhaps the AI struggling on their soft compound tyres, as you can just see there through the final sector, able to just carry that bit more momentum. It's the new fastest lap of the day.
That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
Yeah, I don't think the soft tyres are working for the AI at the moment, as Gasly, yeah, kicks at the back end through the first couple of turns. Are we going to be able to get a run down the Raffles Boulevard here, as long as we stick close to Pierre? We've always been quick through this first sector, get the car clean and tidy over the curbing, activate the DRS, and yeah, we are definitely within range already on Pierre Gasly there. He's going to nip to the left-hand side there, back over to the right, up the inside we go, and I think, yeah, that's going to be a done deal We're back up now into the lead here at the Singapore Grand Prix. Yeah, is this just going to be one of those weekends where we are absolutely feeling it, and hopefully now might be able to walk away a bit. Well, I wouldn't quite say we're romping away from Pierre Gasly at the moment, but we're certainly not under pressure from the Frenchman as he is starting to, yeah, fall back towards Lando Norris here. But, yeah, 5 laps in already. I really don't want to get ahead of myself this weekend. I'm already sort of thinking about championship permutations, but if ever there was a track where races can get turned on their heads, Singapore is certainly that race. Remember 2008? Controversial, I think, to use that as the example, but it certainly did turn the race on its head. Now, yeah, I think, oh, there we go, AI into the pits as we start at lap 7, both Gasly and our teammate in. Yeah, I think Sainz now up at a P2 at the Grand Prix, and he's not really dropping back much pace either at the moment in his Ferrari, as Tsunoda has tried to go 1 lap longer as well. But yeah, the AI really struggling on their set of the soft compound tyres, but you can see Verstappen, he's still sat down in P17 behind both Williams and both Alpines at the moment. He just doesn't seem to be able to make an impact early on. And again, just that Red Bull's so high downforce, perhaps he's not even able to get close enough down the straights to do anything. Very weird to see, though. The normal aggressive Max Verstappen just not being able to make a move. There we go, Tsunoda and Ricciardo into the pits as well. Oh no, Ricciardo's staying out another lap, actually, on the set of tyres there. So, yeah, looks like now it's just Sainz and Stroll as well as myself on the mediums. Ocon on hards, though. That might be why they're falling back so rapidly then. Alpine really trying to go the long game here. And, yeah, it's just screwing Max.
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 per lap. Copy that.
Team still reckoning the 1 stop's the way to go, and to be honest, it's probably just not worth risking doing anything else in this GP. So yeah, I think pitting onto the mediums about lap 14, probably the sensible way to go here. And of course, unless we do get a safety car or something like that. As yeah, now Ocon and Mazepin 4th and 5th in their Alpines there. Verstappen now into the top 10. I'm looking at it going, Ocon and Mazepin there on their harder, slower tyres. They're, of course, in a much slower car than me as well. They could mean that by the time it's ready for at least Sainz and I to pit, probably not so much for Stroll, we might be clearly have a pit stop over all the other runners there, because Ocon, yeah, is really going to try and go deep into this race. He's probably looking towards lap 20 before he pits here, and if no one can get round him, I don't think Mazepin will. This could really play into Sainz and I's hands. I mean, yeah, as we come towards the end of lap 11, we're pulling out about 2.5 seconds a lap.
You'll be on the hards.
Yeah, about 2.5 seconds a lap faster than Ocon in that Alpine, which seems about right, you know, about 1.5 seconds for car pace, about another second for tyres. The Sainz already in, so what strategy is he going on to then in this Grand Prix? He's got 23 seconds over the Alpines behind him. Is he going another? No, he's going hards then, so he's doing the same strategy as us, I think. Just didn't want to go so far on the mediums, and yeah, look at that, he's going to be out comfortably ahead of those other cars, and we've got 8 seconds in the hand to Carlos Sainz. So how much time has he lost then? He's lost about 26 seconds through the pit window. So I mean, yeah, Stroll, he's only, well, I mean, he's probably going to come out behind those guys, but it's not going to be by much, to be honest. I'm kind of looking at the tyre wear here going, if we could get these to about lap 20, just doesn't seem out of the realms of possibility. Could we do medium soft as a 1-stop? I think, yeah, these tyres are working really nicely at the moment. I'm not convinced the hards are going to be very good after that 1 lap we did in free practice. Let's just keep using this rubber for as long as we can. Stroll now into the pits as well, so intrigued to see where he's going to come out in all of this. But, yeah, maybe we can go super long on these tyres and really surprise everyone. I guess the only really important thing at the moment is we keep the gap to Sainz up.
To start losing some tyre grip around now.
Right, yeah, we just got to keep on top of that, as team did want us in the end of this one. But yeah, I think if we can take these to, what, lap 20? 11 laps on a set of softs shouldn't be impossible, especially if these tyres do last that far. As Norris now making some moves, he's all over the back of Pierre. Potentially, I mean, this could still end up being the battle for P2, but Sainz has got a big gap. And that's only going to get bigger and bigger until Ocon pits. End of lap 16 then. So far, the gap to Carlos Sainz staying pretty much stable around the 36-second mark. So we have still, since he pit, actually, I think, gained a couple of seconds on the Spaniard. So hard tyres definitely not working here if we can avoid them. All as well I'm thinking of is, of course, if we go on to the softs, we've already snagged the fastest lap for now, but I would have thought other people are going to be quick towards the end. These tyres are definitely starting to give up just a little bit, but yeah, set soft surely can do 11 laps here, and if not, might just be that we pit again and be super quick and have to try and catch up to Sainz. But I mean, 16 seconds over 11 laps when you've got 2 stages of softer, fresher rubber is certainly doable, especially with the pace we've got. Seems like Gasly and Lando, though, have moved past Esteban Ocon, who's still out there as well on his original set of tyres, so they're now in hot pursuit of Carlos Sainz. There we go. I knew Verstappen would be trying to set fastest lap of the day, and he has just gone fastest in this Grand Prix. First time he's had any real sort of clear air in this GP. There's a lot of people now in for their second stops, so we're still yet to make our first in this Grand Prix, but we are going to probably box at the end of the next lap. And yeah, so a 36.1 then. Surely we can find 4/10 on much less fuel and fresher rubber here later on in the GP. Although, yeah, so far this weekend we've definitely been our most comfortable on the medium compounds here. Lap time slowly dropping off a bit now. Sainz has taken a couple of seconds out of me. We'll just confirm to the team we are. Yeah, we'll just confirm to the team we are going to box then at the end of this lap. And yeah, so far so good though. Gap still 34. There we go. Lando in as well.
Lando is in the pits. Lando in the pits.
Fingers crossed that doesn't hold us up. I mean, we're a minute away from the box, but F1 2021 can be a weird game sometimes. There at everyone, yeah, further back into the pits. Stroll's going to be back up now into P3. He's double mediuming this race. Why on earth is he doing that? The Canadian. Have they just botched their own strategy call down at Aston Martin there? Is Verstappen now up into P5? What is going on in this race? I've got no idea who's where anymore. But I think, yeah, some of these guys have got to pit again, unless Verstappen has pulled off a worldie. Anyway, round in the final few corners, though, about to come into the box. But hopefully our one and only stop of the Grand Prix. Yeah, right up towards those barriers as we head in towards the final corner. Tip it in nice and easy. Get it slowed down. Only just as we head into the box there, as we can see Alfa Romeo's just in front of us in the pit lane. But yeah, I mean, look at that track map. Everyone sneaking through Sector 1 and Sector 2 there, as we're now already on lap 21 of this Grand Prix. 11 laps to go here from Singapore. We're going to whack on a fresh set of the soft compound tyres.
Exit now.
They did 1 lap early on in qualifying, and yeah, we're still going to be comfortably ahead of Carlos Sainz.
One stop left in this strategy.
So we just need to take this lap nice and carefully there as we head out of the pit lane. And yeah, then we'll try and do one really fast lap on these tyres and then try to bring it home to the flag. Right, let's round in the final couple of corners then. Let's go for an attacking lap here from the Singapore Grand Prix. Let's try and take this fastest lap bonus point. You never know how useful these are going to be come the end of the year.
You'll be on the mediums.
Team don't really know what they're on about. Thinking we're going to be on to another set of mediums as we sneak through turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3. Short shift on the way out there and really try and roll on the power as you head over that bump. Really around to the car, gets a little bit unstable. Wide entry through turn 5, and then as you head out onto the Raffles Boulevard, scroll off as little momentum as you can through the kink of turn 6, but keep it over on the right hand side there. Brake at the 100 metre board down in towards sector 2 there. Attack the inside curb and the exit. Brake just as the car straightens up there and the wall on the left comes towards you, and then roll on the power nicely there. Turn in, aim for over the curbing again. Yeah, Gasly, new fast lap of the day at 35.8. As we head into the former Singapore sling, attack the curbs on the way in, 4th gear. Down another 2 through the second part there, and again attack the curbing. Avoid that one though, that will unsettle the car. And then straighten up, braked over the Anderson Bridge there. Tsunoda now going marginally faster than Pierre Gasly as you roll on the power down the back straight away. Braking just at the 100 metre board there. Tip it in 2nd gear, short shift up to 3rd on the exit. Avoid running over the white line, it will give you a warning. And then this next corner, yeah, one of my least favourite on the lap. Tip it in attack the curbs through the second part there. Avoid that wall on the exit. It comes at you incredibly quickly as you head under the grandstands. Just avoid that curb on the inside, then nudge the wall on the outside apparently on this lap. Attack the curbs through the final few corners of the lap though. One more corner to go. Down the one gear, tip it in, short shift back up into 6th on the exit. Maximise the curbing, and that's a 35.3. Will that be good enough for the fastest lap by the end? I hope so, because we're not going to be able to get much more than that. The car is, yeah, the drivers are going quick at the moment, but now we've got a bit of lapped cars to navigate.
44.5 seconds.
That was a horrible line out onto the Raffles Boulevard, but 45 seconds now ahead of our teammate Lando Norris here as he's dropped back behind Pierre Gasly a little bit more as we actually go purple again. That's not what we want to do at the moment. We need to try and get this thing home on these tyres. So Verstappen now finally back into the box there, so Norris is going to be back up into P5. But yeah, I think Stroll's still got a pit again. Not too sure whether Lando and Pierre are going to have to. So has Verstappen potentially finessed this? He's still not going to be inside the top 10 though at the moment. He's still a little bit further back than I'm sure he would have wanted. He looks like he's going to come back out in traffic as well. So Max Verstappen's day goes from bad to worse. Lundgaard moves out the way for us this time. Was woeful at doing that all the way back at Silverstone, but yeah, 8 laps to go.
In this lap, push now.
Team want us in again, but that's not going to happen here. As closing up to the back of Robert Schwartzman. Really been a disappointing campaign from him. He's just never had the pace in comparison to his teammate Mick Schumacher there, and in a backmarker car. That just gets further exacerbated as we try and get a run out to the Raffles Boulevard once more. Schwartzman is going to duck out of the way, kind of getting a little bit sketchy, but we do make the move work. Come on then, Giovinazzi, move out the way. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much. Now just 6 laps to go here from Singapore. We've definitely taken a bit more out of these tyres than I probably should have, but they should make it. 3 laps to go then here from Singapore. 5 laps worth of fuel apparently here in the Singapore Grand Prix. But yeah, the fronts are definitely starting to go now in this race, having to turn in a whole lot earlier than I would once have to on this set of tyres, but they're still hanging in. And the gap to Sainz being, yeah, 20 seconds with 3 laps to go. You need 7 seconds a lap to be able to do anything here, and even we don't have that sort of advantage of a Haas in this Grand Prix. Oh, we got yellow flags out as we're about to start the last lap of the Grand Prix. I think that's one of the Alpines. Is that Ocon? He's ran such a strong race up to now, defended for so long now. I think, oh, it's George Russell, who was on for Aston Martin's best result in a long old time. George Russell out of the Singapore Grand Prix with just over a lap to go, and that is heartbreaking for the young Englishman there. Maybe off to Mercedes for next season. We're not 100% sure just yet, but at the moment though, as we start the final lap of the Grand Prix, Russell out. And now we have just got another lap around the Marina Bay there. The tyres are completely gone. Sainz is actually now starting to take a fair bit of time out of me at the moment as the Alfa Romeo of Giovinazzi start to close back in once more.
Is 36.0 seconds.
But yeah, gap to Lando as well actually has come down rather drastically later on in this GP, but hasn't been the most exciting one on the road.
No overtaking through the yellow flags.
But yeah, I mean, what a weekend though it's been. I think after Monza last weekend, which, let's be fair, was a bit of a disaster, that we were able to recover with an aggressive strategy call. Singapore this weekend has been everything that we needed here. Pole position after Verstappen had issues. Looks like unless something drastic happens on this last lap, it is going to be fastest lap and the race victory as well. They're the perfect race on paper, and to be honest, pretty much the perfect race on the road as well. You know, we've just had that little bit extra in the bag. This car handles Singapore so well, just able to ride the curbs and able to get the car tipped in. It really plays to this thing's strengths for the most part as well, which is super enjoyable. Lando Norris took his first win back in Formula 1 year ago here in Singapore Marina Bay with 212 Motorsport, and as we round the final few corners, it's not quite going to be the 1-2 we got last year, but it is going to be another dub here in Singapore. Rounding the final couple of corners, we're going to retake the championship lead, and we're going to have a big advantage heading into the final 4 It's the win here in Singapore. You love to see it.
Absolutely fantastic. It's a brilliant result. Well done.
What a great race it's been then. Another classic Singapore Grand Prix, and they've held on to take the checkered flag here today. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way out onto the podium. Mr. Monaco takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Lance Stroll certainly put in an impressive performance today. No doubt his team and fans are extremely proud.
It's time to check out the Constructors' standings. The current leaders continue to extend their lead at the top. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
Well, there we are then, guys. The end of the Singapore Grand Prix and another dub that we walk away with as well. They're 12 seconds, only the gap to Carlos Sainz at the end of the day. But we controlled that one. Pole position, fastest lap, race victory, 26 points, done and dusted. Max Verstappen nowhere to be seen throughout the entirety of that GP. So we are certainly going to walk away with a healthy championship lead once more there. Sainz in P2. Again, a really good strategy job done by him and Ferrari this weekend there. Gasly, another podium, no matter what series we're doing at the moment. Gasly seems to find himself on the podium come the end of a race weekend there. Lando Norris in 4th ahead of Perez and Hamilton. Tsunoda ahead of Lance Stroll, though, had a pretty decent race up into 8th place there. And yeah, Ocon as well made the one-stop work in 9th ahead of Guan Yu Zhou there. So brilliant defensive drive by the young Frenchman there. You can see further down the order, Max Verstappen down in 12th place there. And yeah, just Russell and Leclerc both not making it to the checkered flag. They could have both had really good races had things gone their way there. Championship-wise, though, means we're now 20 points clear of Max Verstappen with 5 races to go of the year. So if he was to win the last 4, it would still go Dutch at the end of the year, but fingers crossed, yeah, we're going to at least have the potential to win 1, maybe 2 more races before the end of the campaign there. That also means with that good result, Sainz back up now into 5th place there, just behind Pierre Gasly, ahead of Perez and his teammate Charles Leclerc. That is going to be a big, big battle to watch out for, really, yeah, from 3rd down to 7th between now and the end of the campaign there. No other movers, though, further down the order. You can see, yeah, really, Bottas downwards have just not scored any points over the course of this season there. Constructors-wise, though, 46 now the gap opens back up to at the top of the championship. So we have got a 1 race weekend margin over Red Bull as well, though, which is super, super important as we head into the final few races of the year. Could AlphaTauri beat Mercedes by the end of the year as well? We'll have to wait and see about that. But thank you all so much for watching this video. Like I said, not the most exciting race in the world, but exactly what we needed for our championship hunt. 4 races to go, 20 points between myself and Max Verstappen. Genuinely now, I think we've got a real good shot at the world title. Thank you all so much for watching. Yeah, we'll be back very, very soon with more Formula 1 content. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.